Hello everybody and welcome to Highland Fishing on Kinlaig. So I have just found, I just did one test, well 3 test runs if you want to be specific, but one windrow of how to make these windrows as best as possible. So if you start by doing obviously one row pushing it to the left, skip the next row and then bring it back to the right and then go up the middle, yes, you're driving over your onions all the time, but it does put it all into one very nice and neat windrow. So I think that's going to be the way we're going to do it. But anyways, we've got a bit to do today. We've got this field to try and finish, which will take a bit of time I imagine, but hopefully we can do a lot of it sort of in the time lapse. Then we also have I've just flicked that the wrong way. If we keep it going to the left or to the right, whichever way you're going, and then you go down the middle. Yeah, so obviously we've got this field to do. I would like to get this finished in this episode, and then we have the bales up there. We need to sort all them out, and I've just had a thought. That barn of ours that we put for storing the onions, and what I've said, you know, hopefully stock potatoes or something in there, it's going to be awkward for the conveyor belt because it's only got the one door and it's got the 3 bays. So we're just going to have to keep that in mind. It may be a barn. There'll be no point getting rid of it, I don't think, unless we want the money. But yeah, we probably would have been better putting down 2 barns of what we have for the grain store. That would have probably been more beneficial to us and a lot easier to work in than that barn we've put in. So right, if we now lift this here and set this to centre like so, when we go up this middle row it should put everything into one, which will be very, very handy. It's all about keeping it neat and tidy, and those ones there, I must have missed those from when we've done the headland. But yeah, as you can see, it's just wide enough that it's pulling it all in, which the less windrows we have for the harvester, the better. And especially when they're neat like this, we shouldn't be sort of missing anything, which will be very, very handy. So that's definitely making life a lot easier and a lot smarter, although probably not the correct way to do it. What I am going to do is just off camera, I'll get this last corner done, and then we can look at getting them lifted. Obviously we've got the production to fill, which that's got a 50,000 litre capacity, so I think we can get a trailer and a half more put into there if we only put in 1 in the last episode, which I believe I did. And then yeah, then we've got the bales to clear up there. We could even go put some fertiliser over these fields just to get that first layer already on, so then we can forget about it for a little bit. The final stretch, and then that's this onion field done. And I do think if we just do 1 onion field a year, that's not going to be too much to do at all. And I'm also thinking, is it probably wise that we buy ourselves a plough and just let the worker plough the field? Obviously, because that's just all pure soil and the ground will be compacted, all this and other. So let's have a look at, so our large tractor, we have 359 horsepower. If we go to ploughs, 300, so we could pull that one. And what's that? That's 4.9. See, that's 4.2. It's cheaper. Does that, will that just hang off the back? Because if that just hangs off the back, oh, then we're going 3.5. That's a lot cheaper at 3.5. They're all 7 miles an hour. That's banter, isn't it? 3.5 metre working width, you need 220 horsepower. That one you need 210 horsepower for 4.2. Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Let's just have a look through all of these. So I think that's the only one really that we could go for. So I'm going to buy that. Because doing this, like I say, it's something that we can just put on. I better turn those off. We can just put this on with a worker. Obviously put the worker in the New Holland once this is clear and just leave them to it, and then it will save us a job of herbiciding. So it's, would it be cheaper than spraying herbicide? I don't know, but anyways, it's one less job to do, and it's just something that can keep going in the background. I'm just going to put that so it's going to one side. It just narrows it up a bit more. And next, we need to find somewhere to store all this, because I don't think, would we get down that gap there? I don't think so, but what we can do is if we put it to there, we can drop the front there, and then if we just put the front, the topper lifter, whatever it's called, if we put this behind it, we should be able to push it as far back into that shed as possible. But it should also give us room to put something else there, I'm going to hope. But it does mean, however, if we were to go get a bigger combine, we've got nowhere to put that, I don't think. So let's put that there, and we can take this down to the store now to go gather up our plough. So we've still got our seed drill here, which is absolutely fine. That was just buying it to make sure we had it, so that can stay there. I know it'll be depreciating in value, but I think when we bought the Pottinger, I think I'd said that we weren't going to be selling it at any point. Oh, this is trail behind. Oh, cool. So we want to just get that folded, because that would be the wrong way to travel it on down the road. I watched a video, was it last night, of dashcam footage of a tractor driver. Someone driving a tractor with a plough, and they turned sharp into this junction. The plough flicked out into the middle of the road, and the dash cam of this truck you see swerving, which is yeah, the kind of the dangerous thing about it. Because I always find it, I was speaking to one the other day about it, saying how with ploughs and trailers it's completely different. With a trailer to go around a corner, you're taking a right wide berth, whilst with a plough you're sort of trying to cut the corner as much because your back end's flicking out. And then they said the likes of the that Lempkin and the Cavernland, you know, the bigger ones, said you've got a mixture of two problems when you're driving them on the road. Is one, you've got to go wide to get the plough around the corner, but then the furrows are sticking out the back. You've got to be careful that they don't fire out, you know, into the middle of the road. So there's always something to be, you know, to keep you on your guard, as it were. But right, we will just park this up into the field and we'll leave it here for now. We can then go and jump in our harvester or lifter, whatever you want to call it. So I think the best place to probably put this is just put it down this side, like so, and that can stay here. Let's go jump into our lifter. Look at the shine on them. Right, let's turn this on. I'll start with these narrower rows first. Obviously we've got tractor and trailer there. And I don't think there's really much more to do than just to get cracked on with this. And like I said, we need to fill the production up, and then we can continue to start to fill. Not lifted, yeah. And then we'll continue to start to fill our shed up. There's our first onion harvest over and done with. So that hasn't been as painful as what the likes of root crops can be, I've felt. Obviously it'll be a lot better, well, it'll be a lot easier when you're doing potato harvest because you're doing everything as one. But here obviously you're doing two jobs, and when it comes to collecting it's 3 rows into one, which makes life a lot easier. So we'll tip this into here, and whilst this is empty I need to just have a look at the production because I can't remember whether we completely filled that or not. So productions and this one, yeah, so we can get another 15,000 litres into there, which what we'll do is we'll take this back to the yard. Need to try and find somewhere to park this. We may be able to, where we've put the onion equipment, because we don't have the potato header on the front of this, we may be able to pull that forward into where we want it, you know, into the low hanging bit, and then the rest may be able to go in there. If not, we'll have to just reverse it in. We'll have a look. Yeah, that's not going to work how I wanted it to be. I was thinking if we pull in forward, the front wheels can go in that low hanging side, and then the rest would fill out the rest of the building, but I don't think that's going to work. So what we can do is, because the combine we're going to be selling that after this season, we can just reverse this into here, which look how much room that takes. So right, with this we can now set this on with a worker. So it's just pulling it into a field there, press H and move on. Let's now find this. That could be near enough the perfect amount of onions. So I'm not going to definitely not going to tip this into the shed, because by the time we sleep and move on to do the soybeans, that production should have done enough that if there is anything left in this trailer, we can empty it out. I do also want to have a look. I've noticed that apparently in the Highland expansion you can get the Lamborghini tractor off Clarkson's farm. So once we get to the top, I do want to have a look, because I may have missed a bait, or missed a trick I should say, buying this JCB instead of that. But I'm just hoping that it could be classed in the large tractor category. The fish farm, everything's all okay, and then like I say, we will need to get some trees over into the sawmill. I'm saying that, we should probably go have a look at the castle, see if anything's different there, and see what that needs. So whilst that's tipping, let's go to, I'm going to start with medium tractors, because I presume that's where it would be. Deutschfahr, so that's the Highland Fishing. Okay, let's go large tractors. I'm sure I saw it in here. Or I saw someone had it in there. Or was it a Deutschfahr? Where's the Highland Fishing Deutschfahr? That one. Could that... There we go. It's the Lamborghini edition. So what's that? 216. So that can only go to 230. 230 horsepower. What is our JCB here? 235. So we could, if we wanted to, we could sell that. 37 miles an hour. Let's go to here and back to here. 37 Lamborghini edition. Annoyingly, you can't change the colour by the looks of that. Okay. Room colour, I think there's only one room colour you could have, black. That's annoying, because I'm not the biggest fan of that colour, and it is just still a Deutschfahr. It's just a Deutschfahr that's white. Right, there's nothing to really worry about with that. This obviously is a modded version. What does the Warrior get you? Nothing bar, in my opinion, the cooler look. Oh, engine wise that goes to 263, so that's not too bad. 677 litres, that's nothing. And look how quickly he's got on there. I don't think that's going to take this worker too long at all, ploughing here. Because you think especially our plough, where are we looking now? Here. Our plough is 4.2 metres, our cultivator is 3. So our plough is actually bigger than the cultivator. But right, let's make our way to... We'll get into this one. We need to go put the baler away, which we could have put the baler in that sort of Dutch barn. But we're going to need this more often than not. So, I think if we go around this side here, we can go put it in with all our grasswork equipment. But I am going to have to try and find some more sheds somewhere. You know, more room for some more sheds, because like of all this, we seem to just be stacking everything outside at the moment. But right, a little bit further. Like so. So we'll drop that off, and then I think there's nothing much more to do than to go into this field, into our what was the wheat field. We can go stack all the bales up and just move them to one side, which it'd be interesting. I think I said it before, it'd be interesting to know whether there's less or more than last year we'd done this. But what is very, very handy is we have the bale turner now. So that's been flicking our bales over for us. So it just saves us one extra job, which it'll be surprising, I imagine, actually just how much time that does save us. And I wonder, can we get the rear weight on this tractor like we do on the newer JCB? Okay, well, there's definitely a lot less straw bales, so we've got them all into fewer, which is good. So, and hopefully a bit more money. And just looking at our fuel there, we are going to have to go get some. So let's just drop these bales here. And shall we have a look on the map to see, is there... Okay, so there's a petrol station down there. Our work is cracking on fairly quickly. Let's just have a look. Is there... I could really do with a bigger cultivator, you know, just to go over that, the ploughing, apologies, to go over the ploughing there. But right, is there a quicker way to get to this petrol station? We either go down, let's go through here actually, because we haven't driven through here yet, and then this will get us back to the petrol station. I might just put this on a little time lapse because I've never driven down here before, so it'll be something a bit different. Well, don't get me wrong, where our starter farm is brilliant, but driving through there is absolutely lovely. Pay at the pump, so do I just pull up onto here? Let's press that, there we go, that's filling rather nicely. So 9 hours of work we can get out of this tractor before it needs refilling. Right, let's just have a quick look. So the animals, the chickens are fine, sheep are fine, cows are fine, bar they need water. So we'll just quickly bob up there to get them sorted out. I'm going to go back this way because I rather enjoyed that. So I did hit this in one of the previous episodes, so whether we're going to be able to get it, I'm stuck on the fence now, whether we're going to be able to get it like this, I don't know. Let's just try. No, that's making it worse. Right, let's try use the forks without doing any damage to the IBC, otherwise we'll have water going everywhere. So let's put this under like that. Oh. And the cows have used one of those hay bales that are in there, so we could possibly do with putting another in. Right, that should now be able to do it for us. It'll be lovely when we can finally get rid of this pasture. The only problem I think we may have is the Highland cows. We may have to sell them. But right, let's get that unloaded into here. We'll fill it back up and bring it back down because I presume it's going to use all of this. If not, it's going to leave dregs in the tank. Nope, all of it, so let's go get some more. So I am going to, because I believe as long as everything's done, if we put the fertiliser spreader on, I'm just going to quickly go spread some fert on this field, because then it should mean that we'll be able to move on and then we can get into the soybean harvest straight away. And that is fun. Rations at the minute, but I wonder how much they're actually worth. Wrong button, because although I could go on here, I don't really look at them. So I believe you can get to about £5,000 per animal, but I don't know. Oh, we've had some babies, we've had some little calves. So 12 months, 18 months, 30 months. So we should be, what age do they reproduce? 18 months. So that must be the 30-month ones I've given that. So the 18-month ones will be coming in to reproduce. So yeah, we're going to have to fill up this paddock now every day. It's going to need bales put in. But right, I believe then if we just look onto here, growth. So the soybeans are in 2 months' time. So we've got plenty of time to get onto this. Drilling, we can put canola in. But because I want to aim for the fish food factory, we could put canola in actually, and we could do that this month. So I need soybeans, canola, and wheat, which the canola won't be ready. This is why I remember looking at the map and saying that there was only 2 fields which had canola. But interestingly, 39, which isn't far at all, that's got canola. So let's just visit. Oh, they've drilled it with canola, okay. I'm guessing they've harvested, all the canola is being harvested now. Because I had 13 and 30, I thought it was. Nope. To 15. Yeah, that's been. So we've run out of time on that one, which is absolutely fine. So we may just try and put some canola in and make sure that we're sorted for next year. We do, however, need to get the oil mill, which if we look onto here, there's going to be so many in there now. Well, there's so many productions now. I've tried to keep all of the any mods I've tried to keep out. And look how much straw we've missed there. That's annoying. So let's have a look. Dairy. I do like these buildings. Let's go. Cereal factory, sugar mill, oil mills. 240,000. And is this a Kinlaig one? Which, if it is there one on the maps? 240, which we can buy, but we've got nothing to put in it. Which, if we go to here, available, where is oil mill? Okay, there isn't one, so we're going to have to make our own oil mill somewhere. I don't really want it to be up at the farm, so the only other place to have a look is there a production site? So we can buy all this grass here, which would work well with the mill being there. What else can we buy down this way? The 72, which that's not so bad either. You've got a bit of forestry as well and flat land. But what's 71? Is this a farmyard? Yeah. So 72 is 244, 70 is 2, so I reckon we need to buy that. I can't buy any of this land over here, can I? You got to click on the number anyways. We could buy, no, don't click buy. We could buy this land, which this is forestry. Our little house. Oh, we've driven past this house. Well, driven near this house many a time. I've never actually been to have a look. I reckon there'll be a collectible around here. Little details like that is what I like. Yeah, it's almost like having the electric fence around top of your posts. But anyways, there is not a lot here. But a fishing rod, which I'm going to say that net's a bit manky if it's able to stay up like that. Anyways, I think there's not much more to say than thank you very much for watching. I hope you've all liked and enjoyed the video, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye for now.